Christina, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
How did you get into theater?
I started singing when I was young. I had my first solo when I was 8 years old at the Kiwanis Prayer Breakfast, and as soon as I heard those applause and I saw people stand up,
you were hooked.
I was hooked.
It's the grease paint.
The bug, yeah. And then I started doing little shows, children's shows, and never stopped.
So what was the first show you ever did?
I did Wizard of Oz.
You did Wiz.
I
did.
My
goodness.
I did. I was a munchkin.
But of course, yeah. The munchkin. Yeah. I'm sure everyone wanted to be Dorothy. Of
course.
So after that show, was it with any particular groups?
It was actually with Crighton Kidz.
You did it with Crighton Kidz?
Did.
I didn't know. You were one of the original Crighton Kidz then.
I am. Yeah, I was.
Oh my goodness. So who was Amy? Was Amy there at the time or what?
No, I don't remember who it was. I was probably still 8 right after I finished that first solo. And I don't remember.
So where are you from? Are you from this area?
I'm from Montgomery.
So you're from Montgomery. Okay, so you know this area.
I do.
You're doing Crighton Kidz and stuff like that?
Yeah, I've done a few shows at the Crighton.
Wow. So so that was your first show?
That was my first show.
At the Crighton. Wow. So what do you do in real life?
I am a voice teacher. I teach voice lessons at Montgomery Middle School, Junior High, and High School. Okay. And then I also work for a company called My Voice and Piano.
Oh my God, both. Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
So what do you do at the My Voice and Piano?
I teach voice lessons and beginning piano. Well, it's interesting because you can tell some kids really enjoy it.
Right.
Well, of course they all enjoy it, but there's just different levels of talent or different levels of learning. And so I enjoy that. I enjoy being able to teach differently to each student and find out what they're more interested in versus, some of them are more interested in the theory side of things versus performing on stage. And some of them really want to work their voice and some of them want to develop acting skills. So it's always fun to do the different elements of all of it and explain, well, if you ever change your mind, we can go this direction and give them different ideas.
Do you see kids where theater really changes them or in case voice? Does it really change them?
I think so. I think anything that a kid can get involved in and be interested in is beneficial, and especially something that kind of takes them away from maybe struggling with grades or struggling with home life or something like that. It's an escape, and I think theater and music are definitely an outlet for that.
No, absolutely. I've seen it. It seems like too that there's some kids too where they're very introverted. You get a lot of theater and singing too, very introverted. But then they find this gift, if you will, and it changes them completely. I think those are are really interesting.
One student this year, I never would have thought she was going to get up on stage, and she shocked me. We started working on this song, and I thought she would audition, and it would be good for her. And then she got out there, and her audition was the best audition. She's real quiet, and it was like a totally different person. I was like, where was that? Where have you been hiding? It was fun. It's so fun to see that.
Oh, wow. So when you have time off, which doesn't sound like a lot, what do you like to do?
I like to spend time with my family and spend a lot of time with my boyfriend and travel. We like to travel.
Where do you go?
I have family in Canada, so
ooh, cool.
We do that every couple years when we can, and just any states we can get to because they're quick, and with Southwest it's pretty easy and affordable now. And Europe, I love Europe.
Oh, so where have you been in Europe?
I've been to Italy and Germany and Austria, and then, of course, London, England.
Of course, yes. Well, I've done the London, I've done the Italy, but I haven't done Germany and Austria. We're getting ready to do the summer. What should we see or not see?
Oh, my gosh. Do the Salzburg tour. So it's the Sound of Music tour in Salzburg.
Yes.
It was my parents planned it. It was my graduation present from high school. And we went as a family, and I was like, this is going to be terrible. There's 5 of us kids. And then my 2 parents, and I was like, this is... We're going to ride bikes, all of us, through town. It was really, really cool to see all of that. And just you get to experience the culture, but also it's something that's familiar. So that was probably my favorite thing. I loved
Oh, we'll have to try that. Well, Canada, where do you go in Canada?
I go to Alberta. It's
yes.
My family's in Cochrane. And so I've done the Calgary Stampede and...
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I've never done the Stampede. Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
It's very fun. It's not too different from our Houston rodeo.
But... different accent.
Different accent, yeah. There's a little culturally, they have a few different things, but same concept. That's rides and different events and food.
Calgary's a great town.
Yes.
You know, it's big enough to be a large city, but have a lot of cultural events.
Right.
But still, you have kind of almost a small town feel.
Right. We like it because it's like home. Everybody's real friendly, eye contact. You say hello to each other. They'll help you find what you need. So that's always nice when you're traveling.
I love Calgary when I can get up there. Absolutely. So where haven't you been that you want to go?
I want to go to Greece and I want to go to Spain. Those are my two top places on my list right now.
What's about Greece that you enjoy?
I think the culture is really interesting. I love Greek food. And I just think the landscape is so gorgeous and there's so much history.
Right. So. Yeah, well, it's funny. Like I say, you love Europe. I don't know people that go there, oh, we just love it. And then there are other people that go, oh, it's a bunch of old buildings. Well, you know what? Maybe you should be, if that's your attitude. Get out of here. That's amazing. But in the States, what do you like to do on your time off?
In the States, let's see.
I mean, obviously you hang with your boyfriend, but...
Right. Well, I went to college in San Antonio, so I have a few friends that are still there, and in Austin. So anytime we can, and he does too, which is nice. So anytime we can get out there and kind of just relive and reminisce about fun we had and see people, that's really nice. I like to do that. And just mostly I travel. My family's kind of spread out in Texas, so just going to visit them and try different things in different areas, whatever draws you there, you know, whatever the big thing to do is. Right.
Do you enjoy seeing shows at different places, or?
I do enjoy seeing different shows and different places. Is always interesting to see, or to see the same show in a different place. I always find that fascinating. With a different director, that's always very interesting to me. How to see different people's perspectives or different use of space is always really cool.
Yes, because everyone has this unique space, right? Their stage may be large, small, deep, wide, whatever. Just the resources that they have access to, right? It's all very different. Even the actors, you know, so how do they, like I said, their choices.
Right.
How do they approach things? You got any favorite TV shows?
TV shows, I love Grey's Anatomy. Okay. So cliche, but I do. And then the spinoff, Private Practice. And my guilty pleasure is Teen Mom. And I don't know. I started watching it when it first came out, and it seems silly now that I'm like an adult, but you get you build these relationships with these girls on this show. You feel for them, and you can kind of relate in some senses, even though I wasn't a teen mom, but some of their experiences as a teenager. And then you think, I could have never done the things I did with a child, and to see them kind of persevere through things is
but that's
addicting.
But it's true. But I mean, that is the essence of a good story, whether it's theater or wherever you do it, right? If you can relate somehow, doesn't mean you have to have that experience, but you relate to their story.
Exactly.
Because if you don't, it doesn't really matter what the set is, what the costumes are like. You know, it really doesn't matter. For us, it's Downton Abbey, just because the costumes are so exquisite.
Yes, I've heard it's great. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I mean, if you've watched Upstairs, Downstairs from many years ago, you go, oh, I'm kind of bored. But it's the same story, but it's cut in a modern style. The stories are all engaging and fairly equally. They do a really job of doing it. Costumes are just incredible. And a lot of the story is based on, it's all fictional, it's all based on real things that happen. And I think the set itself, Highclere Castle, is a character in itself. And fortunately, I mean, it's driving people to go help maintain it and see that. So we want to go see it this summer. We want to go see it. I want to see the real castle. What it looks like. But that's good. Let's talk about reality shows. Are there particular things about reality shows that you like or dislike, or?
I think some things are blown out of proportion, or they find someone makes one mistake and then they, repeatedly air that. And I think that's not really fair, but you also signed a release and you agreed to have your life on TV. So, but I do get addicted to reality shows. They're real people. I mean, you get addicted to other shows too that aren't reality shows because you form an understanding of a relationship, or in theater as well. But reality shows, I have a love-hate relationship with.
I think we do too, because the first thing's like, I hate reality shows. Ooh, Storage Wars!
Right, exactly. Yes, I love Storage Wars.
I want to see what they're going to find in there.
Yeah, and what they can. I love to see like what they profit off of that story. I'm like, what? I wish I had a knowledge of like stuff so that I could do that. But
yeah, they got some interesting stories. And even past, was it with Dave, or he was going like, well, maybe some of these were staged or whatever.
Right.
And we're like, it's all right.
I don't care.
We don't
I don't even care.
We like these people.
Right.
That's amazing. What shows would you like to do that you haven't done yet?
I would love to do Grease.
Mm-hmm. That's coming up, yeah. At least over across the street, yes.
Yes. I would love to do Les Mis, which...
I would love to do Les Mis.
I would love to do Les Mis, and I know I've always wanted to do Les Mis.
Have you seen the movie?
I have seen the movie.
Yeah, what did you think?
I thought they did a very good job. I thought it was pretty well done. I was impressed. You know, some of them are actors that aren't singers, but they did a good job, and it was all live singing. That's what I found most fascinating. No one was dubbed over. They didn't do it in the studio. No. There were no, you know. So what you hear is what they're
that's
doing.
the way it is.
And I think some people got criticized a little bit, but you have to remember they're actors that are singing.
I would tell people is don't go in with high expectations.
Yeah.
And just enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy the story.
Just enjoy the story, because we all know the story. We've seen it many times, right? The ones I really enjoyed, though, awesome with the Revolutionaries, the college kids. Oh my goodness! And then of course, like, well, that's the London cast. Well, okay, but no, they were awesome.
They were. Those guys were amazing. My mom said the same thing. She was like, "Those guys," you know, it was great.
Yeah, so we really enjoyed. Yeah, I would love to do the Miz.
Yes,
that's definitely top of the list to do. But that's a huge production.
Oh yeah, definitely
to do that right. Any other kind of hobbies that you enjoy doing?
I like to do any DIY project, so any do-it-yourself.
Really? Like what?
Yeah, well, just any, like Pinterest, it has been like amazing for me, because I've always been fine. I would always try and find things and turn them into something else.
Really?
Always.
Like what?
I just like anything I could use in the house, like turning a potting plant into something to hold like my kitchen utensils, or anything that could make my life easier. I don't know, just decorating, turning things like a sash from my skirt into like a tie around my towels as like an accent around my towels or something. So Pinterest has been really fun for me.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I like my boyfriend's in the Army, so he's deployed right now in Afghanistan. Right. So I've been making his care packages and themed care packages, or I decorate the outside of the box, and so it's not just like cards that I buy. I'm actually like making everything, and that's like a real, like, it's fun for me. Like, it's fun for me to do something for him, but also like to have that touch of I'm making everything. So I really love doing anything like that.
What's the food that he just is really into?
I make homemade tortillas.
Yes.
So
do you send them?
I do. I have. Yes. I sent him when he was in El Paso. They were doing training in El Paso, and so just like a test, like how long will these last? Because they are homemade, so there's no preservatives in them. But now I bought this vacuum sealer, so I'm gonna test it.
So now it can go anywhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna test it out pretty soon. Make him some tortillas.
Wow. Because there was when we were doing I think Mrs. Bob Cratchit's Small Christmas Binge, we did a case where there was one of the sons of people that are in the cast. And they wanted Frito pie. So we got together Frito pie for 10 and boxed it up and sent it over there.
That was my cousin's favorite thing while he was there, is my grandmother sent him Frito pie. So
my goodness.
Canned chili and nacho cheese.
But when you don't have it.
Yeah. He loved it. He was like, it was like home. And some of the guys had never seen Frito pie.
Most people, until I came to Texas, I didn't know what the heck Frito pie was. And they was like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
How could you go wrong? Right. You know, cheese and Fritos and chili. Yeah. So, well, I'm glad you do that, because that is really neat. Yeah. I'll have to think about that. Yeah, some other care packages. Have you heard about the U.S. Troop Support Organization? There's one. There's probably several, but there's one in the Woodlands, and that's what they specialize in. They get donations to give care packages. But it's not just for the troops as well. It's a lot for their families as well. Because a lot of times when they're getting processed, there's a lot of waiting times. Yeah. You know, and so they will send them. I mean, it can be any simple things. It can be cards. It can be just weight or water, but anything just to help pass the time. Right. A little easier.
Definitely.
So, no, I salute him. That's effort. A second tour? First tour?
Second tour.
Second tour? No, just amazing. And when's he supposed to be back?
He's got 9 months. They just started. Okay. They got there, and he's got about 8.5 months left.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll keep him in our prayers. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Be safe too. All right. Well, last question we're asking everyone: if heaven exists, what do you want God to say when you get to the pearly gates?
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you, and I really want to hear you sing. Hey, I think we're doing Les Mis. How about you?
Yes.
Well, let's talk about if you were going to do Les Mis, what part would you like to do?
I would love to be Pauline.
Pauline?
Yes. Yes. Or Fantine.
Uh-huh.
Either one. But yeah.
They both have some good,
good music.
You can say, what story do I want to tell, right?
Right. Exactly.
Why do you think we find that story so fascinating?
I think everyone can relate to those hardships, and with Fantine doing whatever it takes to make sure her daughter's taken care of, and everyone wants to, everyone makes mistakes, and I think that seeing someone turn their life around and really go from being a thief that's been, put in jail and gets out and makes a mistake again, but then repents and changes his life. I think that's something that people can really, that's honorable, I think.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of, it's such a dramatic story, but there is a little bit of reality that, from each individual life that you can say, yeah, I can understand that part because, not exactly those exact circumstances, but we understand the heart. On that story, where it comes from, and that just touches. It is definitely a four-hanky jobber.
Yes. Yeah, just the way everything's tied. There's so many people, but everybody's story ties together, whether it's for a few seconds or small world is what it amounts to. There's so many people, but you come in passing, and you could be in a different country, and you still run into the same people.
So, thanks for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We'll see you in a little bit.
Great.